Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Brothers and sisters in Islam, today's khutbah is going to discuss on some innovations in this month of Safar. After Al-Muharram, the next month in Islamic calendar is called Safar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَلْيَحْذَرِ الَّذِينَ يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ أَنْ تُصِيبَهُمْ فِتْنَةٌ أَوْ يُصِيبَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. All those that go against the Prophet's sallallahu alaihi wasallam's teaching should be warned that one of these two things is going to happen to them. One, أَنْ تُصِيبَهُمْ fitna, a kind of tribulation, trial, big one is going to befall them. أَوْ يُصِيبَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Or on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give them grievous punishment. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, may Allah be pleased with him, said once, Atadruna mal fitna? Atadri mal fitna? He was asking one of his students, do you know what fitna means in this verse? He said, al-fitna shirkun. It means apostate, to die as a mushrik. Why? Because you always want to go against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's teachings. So this is a very big warning that whenever the Prophet says something, you want to contradict it, then be sure that either of these two is going to befall that person. A'udhu billahi min dhalik. He said, because whenever the Prophet ﷺ says something and that person wants to contradict him, then something is going to happen in his iman and it's going to be doomed. This one is quoted from Al-Bid'ah wal-Muhdathat. Brothers in faith, there is one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that says, it's narrated in Sayyid Bukhari, La adwa, wala qiyara, wala hama, wala sabr. Scholars say these are, contractable diseases that, happen during the Jahiliyyah period. That the people of Jahiliyyah used to believe that these, elements have the power, the strength in themselves to transfer from person to person, animals to animals, without the will of Allah. So the Prophet ﷺ says, all these are wrong. And the reason why we bring this hadith is where the Prophet ﷺ says, Wala Safar. So the diseases, the people of Jahiliyyah assumed that, before mankind in the month of Safar, this belief is also wrong. Salahuddin Ahmad Sa'id says, this la here stands to negate, to show that it's never happening. It's not true. It's not true. Ibn Rajab also says exactly what Salahuddin says, that because la can either be lamun nahi or lamun nafi. So scholars say this one is even nafi, negating. It's not even prohibiting us from saying that. He says it does not even happen. It's not true. It's wrong to assume that there are certain, diseases that can, transmit itself from person to person, animals to animals, time to time, without even the will of Allah. This is wrong belief. It's wrong. And it's the Jahiliyyah way of belief. Allah says in the Quran, مَا أَصَابَ مِن مُصِيبَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مِّن قَبْلِ أَن نَّبْرَأَهَا إِنَّ ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ يَسِيرٌ. Nothing, no tribulation on earth or in yourselves that can ever befall anyone except that Allah has ordained it to happen before the creation of that somebody. Before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you, He has ordained that something is going to happen to you, whether good or bad. So you see, whatever befalls mankind, has been ordained. So you see, the da'wah of Jahiliyyah here is wrong. Believing that these diseases have the power, the strength to travel far and wide on themselves, without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This one is wrong. As Muslims, we must always believe that nothing ever happens on this earth without the knowledge of Allah and without the will of Allah. So what do we say? Yes, COVID-19 can kill, but with the will of Allah. We have seen, persons, that have contracted COVID and have become well afterwards. So all other diseases. So it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has the power to allow it to heal or not. To even transfer from person to person. You understand? There is one common element called Apollo. You see, a child may have Apollo in their family, and before you know it, almost all the children, contract Apollo. But you know one thing, among all the children in the house, you will always see one or even two children that have never contracted this Apollo. That is the will of Allah. So you can see that this disease, yes, may transfer from person to person, but with the will of Allah. So where the Prophet ﷺ says, Wala Safar, Imam Malik says, what this means is that the people of Jahiliyyah used to believe that they defer what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made haram to other months. Allah says in the Quran, إن عدة الشهور عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم. There are 4 months that are sacred that you should not wage wars in these months. Al-Muharram is one of them. But people of Jahiliyyah, if they want to fight, other people, they will say, now Al-Muharram is haram for us. But then now we are making it halal on ourselves, by ourselves. But then afterwards we're going to make Safar haram, just to pay back the Al-Muharram that we, fought in. This is Jahiliyyah. They make what Allah says haram to halal. And then what Allah says halal, they make it back to haram. So don't do that as Muslims. When Allah says it's haram, let it be haram. If Allah says it's halal, let it be halal. So that is why the Prophet ﷺ said, Wala Safar. So Safar is not haram. It's not among the 4 months that Allah SWT says are haram. So don't make Safar now haram. Ibn Rajab, in his own way, he said, what you understand by Wala Safar is because the people of Jahiliyyah used to, attach certain powers to Safar. They used to say that Safar has that one mysterious, powers, that they don't, travel, they don't, tie marriages. They don't do anything, good in that month. So they stay at home redundant, doing nothing. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, Wala Safar. Second part of the khutbah. First, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوا وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Whatever the Prophet ﷺ brings forth, you must accept. And whatever he prevents you from doing, you must prevent yourselves from doing it. Don't allow the Prophet ﷺ to say, don't do it, and then you go ahead and say, even if the Prophet says, I will not do it, I will do it. There is one video clip that went viral. One person was saying that even if the Prophet ﷺ himself says we must not do this, I am going to do it. Ko manzon Allah da kansa ya ce kar mu yi sai mun yi. Subhanallah. Where is this verse? وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Are you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim? Shouting that even if the Prophet ﷺ prevents you from doing something, that you are going to do it. Even shaking yourself, your body to show, yes, you mean it. Subhanallah, na'udhu billah. Many among people will attach negative, powers to Safar. They stop themselves from traveling, and some will even say there are up to 320 calamities that befall mankind in this month, Safar. Without any proof, but they say so. And all of this, or most of this, will happen on the last Wednesday of the month of Safar. Imagine this. Last Wednesday. It's not true, ladies and gentlemen. It's not true. Go ahead and transact your businesses on all days of Safar. Not even La Rabgana, the last Wednesday. Don't believe any of these stories. And finally, Salahuddin, in one of his books, Hamusul Bidah, says that attaching negative influences to Safar and other months and timings, this is an innovation that can lead to polytheism, and we must go away, stay away from all these practices. نسأل الله تعالى التوفيق والسداد والهدى.
وكيف الحال يا تلميذ جميع الحال في النعم.
جزاك الله أستاذي بدار الخلق ذا القمم.
بها أنهار من لبن وخمر ما لها سقم.